Earlier this year, I started a challenge where I would crochet toys every day for 100 days and I would see what happens. But here's the thing, I've been doing this for years. In fact, this is my third 100-day project. This ongoing dollhouse project isn't shelves filled with random toys. It is my library of worlds. And so far, I've made 9 of them. My first story was a day at the beach. And this floppy-headed doll has taught me everything I needed to know about structure. Every doll I've made since has been trying to fix this floppy-headed situation. I moved on to crocheting Sundays are for doing whatever you like. And out of all of the adventures, this is the least adventurous of all the stories. It is also the most likely adventure you'll find me doing on a Sunday. Moved on to a Japanese tale about super best friends, a ninja and a geisha. There's a space adventure with the usual suspects. This one's my favorite. A mermaid's tale, but it's really about a sea monster named Marvin. And then we walk straight into an Egyptian story where I crocheted a pharaoh's tomb filled with treasures, including a golden bed in the shape of a cat bed. And then I did some really adventurous stuff. I crocheted a Viking and I gave her a longboat so that she can fight for Valhalla, alongside a pirate with the most ambitious toy that I have ever attempted. And the latest is a safari adventure and the next chapter in a long, long story. We have a couple of mini-Zs, safari gear like backpacks, hats, water bottles, a camera, binoculars, tiny food in a cooler box. And I've just started with the animals. I have so many rules. In previous years, I focused on crocheting as many pieces as humanly possible, and I would finish a piece in a day or two. This year, I did the opposite, and I took my time. I spent at least a week on each piece. And I want to show you what I learned across all of these stories, but especially this one. Because for the first time, I recorded every step, and even I am surprised at what I learned. I start every story with a doll, and these are all the exact same doll. Beach doll, ninja geisha, old lady, astronaut, mermaid, pharaoh, Viking, pirate, and now the safari dolls. Everything else, the clothes, the accessories, and the props, it all scales from the doll. So if you make your doll first, you have an anchor. If you want to make a hat, make the hat as big as the doll's head. If you want bags, you'll know how long to make a bag strap because you measure it on the doll. And you know how pieces fit into each other. I didn't do this at first. I used to make accessories randomly and I'd hope that they would fit together. Now, I always start with the doll and everything else is icing on the cake. This sandwich is made up of rectangles and circles, and an oval, which is a combination rectangle and circle. This cooler box, bags, camera are all boxes. This hat is a circle on top of another circle. Each basic shape has a basic formula. If you are trying to crochet a piece from a picture or a sketch, divide your sketch into shapes that you recognize, and once you see the shapes, you can freestyle because you know the formula for that shape. The crochet pattern is just a record of what you've done. I kept waiting for permission to freestyle, only to realize that it starts with recognizing the basic shapes first. The shapes come before the pattern. The pattern is just a record of what you've done. Every single story has taught me something different. This beach doll taught me about structure, why my heads flop and how to fix them. In fact, this is an ongoing problem that I tried to fix with every doll that I've made since. The ninja and geisha taught me about how to make clothing move with the doll. I also wanted to make nunchucks, and the only way I could justify that was to build an entire story around it. The space adventure taught me about scale, how to make a rocket and a UFO fit into the same world. The mermaid taught me about how to make curves instead of straight lines. The pharaoh taught me about details. These tiny treasures are replicas from Egyptian tombs, mostly Tutankhamun's. This genuinely was one of those where every single piece was made from a reference picture. The Viking taught me about texture, rough edges, how to make wooden panels on a longboat, the hair, the shield, and this very gorgeous wolf stole. The pirate taught me about ambition, because this pirate ship took me 1 year to plan and 33 days to build. And the safari story is teaching me patience, because where in previous years I would crochet multiple stories in the 100 days, this year I've been focusing on this one story and I am far from finished. The head of these dolls are different, and one is worked from the top down, the other from the bottom up. I tested the same theory with the hippo and the rhino. One body is worked from the top down and the other from the bottom up, and the same for the heads. These are the same patterns worked from different directions, but they yield different results. Flipping the pattern was simple, but strangely enough, it changes everything. Sometimes a new perspective is all you need. I've mentioned this before, but these dolls are all the same pattern. They have the same legs, body, head. What changes are the details like the skin tone, the hair, what clothes I put on them. Some of these outfits are a part of the doll and some are separate. It's the same for this hippo and rhino. It's the same body, same head, same legs. Same shapes, all with different details to make completely different animals. I gave myself a daily time limit and I did not crochet for more than an hour a day. Some days I went over the limit, but I never went under it. I am a firm believer that you can take any impossible task and break it into manageable, bite-sized pieces. There's an African saying that goes, "How do you eat an elephant? You do it one bite at a time." Let's say for argument's sake, I only worked 1 hour a day. That makes it 100 hours, and 100 hours sounds like a lot. And it works out to 12 and a half days if I was doing 8-hour days. I bet that you could find 1 hour a day to work on something big that you've been putting off for a while. I cannot believe I'm about to say this because it sounds airy-fairy, but you need to trust the process. Alongside crocheting these pieces, I made 65 videos, and that's an average of uploading one video every 1.5 days. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that I was not prepared for the amount of time and energy that goes into making videos and having an online presence. There are days that I was really not feeling this, and I couldn't see where a piece was going because I was so focused on lighting and scripts and editing, and I am not a filmmaker. I am a toy maker. But I muddled on regardless, and I had to trust that after 100 days, I would know what's what. You can't always see the final product until you are done. You have to just keep going. Crochet is incredibly forgiving. I've frogged more than I've kept over the years. Learning to be okay with starting over has been the hardest part. But that's the thing about crochet, is that you can always undo and redo. It does help that these are mini toys and not massive blankets. I have taken everything I've learned here from crocheting this dollhouse and applied it to my actual job, which is crocheting bespoke gifts. I didn't have a place to explore or make mistakes because when you are crocheting for a deadline or for money, there's no room for mistakes. And I have learned so much more from my mistakes than I have from any successes. Practice really does make perfect. Just like a musician practices their instruments, I think artists should have a daily practice and practice their art and their instruments. These practice pieces have taught me more than the perfect ones. I know I keep saying perfect, but you don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. This is what years of showing up looks like. Every single one of these pieces has taught me something. The floppy heads have taught me about support. Heavy hair has taught me about balance. Clothing choices has taught me about symmetry. And this year, as I look back on the 100 days that I've crocheted toys, I can look at this and see the more than 300 days that I've dedicated to this project. And I can look at this and realize that I've built something, not just a collection of toys, but a way of thinking. This is a system that I'm going to be using forever. You don't need 100 perfect days. You need 90 days of showing up, even when it's ugly, even when you're tired, even when your doll looks like shit. Because here's the thing that I'm most surprised by. I can look back at the more than 300 days that I have built this, and I realized that I have built something that I could not have planned. All of those rules that I had, all of the great ideas, it all went out the window when I just took my time and got out of my own way. The safari story is far from over. I'm going to work my way through the animals in the Kruger National Park, and next I'm going to start making elephants. After that, I will attempt some big cats, and I'm going to be working my way towards a safari truck. You can follow along on YouTube, where firstly I'll show you how to design a toy by taking a picture or a sketch and turning it into a 3D toy, and then I'm going to show you the actual construction step by step. Because if you want to make your own crochet toys, recognizing the basic shapes comes before the patterns. You still need to know how to read a pattern. You unfortunately can't get away from that. I do deep dives on Patreon, and we go absolutely in depth into how to crochet toys. This month is all about the basic shapes, how to recognize them, what they are, and there's a special shape cheat sheet coming this month. If you want to start your own journey, not 100 days of crochet, but whatever you are putting off, I want you to know that it's possible. I started with one doll, and then another, and then a whole world, then another world, and now I have 9. And as I say that, I realize just how incredibly crazy that sounds. But let's pretend that it's not. The pattern for the doll that started it all is on my website. It's called the Toy Maker Doll, and it is the anchor for everything else. If you've been watching and following along, thank you so much. It means absolutely more than you know. My name is Z, and I'm an obsessive crochet toy maker. And I'm going to show you how we can take a sketch and turn it into a 3D toy. Because I'm not going to lie, that is the most common question I get asked. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Hello. Do you want to move, please? Do you want to move away from my table? Is there somewhere else you'd rather be?